You know something I haven't brought up on this channel at all is one of life's simplest pleasures and one of its most necessary. We gotta eat. We need nourishment to live. But why not enjoy the nourishment? Now, over this past week, I watched a few videos. Again, I watch a lot of YouTube videos. Yes, I do. And I've watched a few. Well, there's a European couple, from their accents, I'd say Eastern Europe. Maybe Poland or Czechoslovakia or who is it? Russia invaded. No, I can't think of. Don't get old, people. Well, yeah, get old, because getting old is a privilege that not everybody gets. So if you get to get old, get old. But don't lose your mind with it. You know. But anyhow, they're an Eastern European couple, and one of the things they were visiting the United States, and one of the things they do a lot of are their visits to restaurants. Cracker Barrel, Chick-fil-A, but not always chains. Sometimes just a simple little diner, you know, Terry Black Barbecue in Austin, Texas. And then there was some others that I watched with some British people, and there were some I watched with some Americans. Some that I watched with a French woman that was living in the United States. And these people, they were not just eating to live. They were trying new things and enjoying the food. And if they didn't necessarily enjoy it, like, well, one British woman was at Costco. She'd heard try their food court while you're there. She did. Well, she was amazed by the prices and the servings. And she was at Costco in London. She wasn't even in the United States. I was kind of surprised to see that Costco in London operates just like the ones in the United States. But she tried one of their hot dogs, but unfortunately they were out of ketchup, and she's like me, she likes ketchup on her hot dogs. So she tried a mixture of mustard and mayonnaise, and it worked all right for her. But she also tried a slice of their pizza. A slice of their pizza. This thing was the size of a personal pan pizza at the very least. And she just had plain cheese pizza. Now, she wasn't that crazy about the pizza. She said, yeah, it tastes more like, frozen pizza. Well, I don't know, there may be a difference in how Costco does things in the UK over how they do them in the US. But the pizzas in the Costco's I've been in, and I'm no longer a Costco member because I don't have one close to me. But the pizzas in the Costco's that I've been in the United States were made in store. They may have been frozen after they were made, but they were made fresh in store. And so they were pretty good. In fact, we used to, when we lived in Montana, there was a Costco right there in town. And we did a lot of business with Costco because of our feeding of the homeless and whatnot. Well, we used to go get the Costco pizzas, or the hot dogs, or the Polish sausages, which I didn't see on the menu in London, but whatever. But we quite often just go ahead and get our lunch at Costco while we were out there. was always quite good. But what I'm driving at here is don't just, this is something that, another area that you can add some pleasure and joy to your life is don't just eat what's familiar to you all the time in order to survive. You know, I eat the same thing a lot when I'm eating at home because there are limits to what I know how to cook. But that's really what it comes down to. But, you know, this week I departed from that a little bit. I made some biscuits. We had some cool days when I could run the oven. I made some biscuits. I had biscuits and gravy for breakfast one day. I had homemade sausage, egg, and cheese biscuits for breakfast a couple other days. I still have sausage and I still have biscuits, and I think I'm going to have some more sausage and some more biscuits and gravy here in a day or two for breakfast. But you know, and the nice thing about it is I can take them, I can put them in the freezer, I can take them out, put them in the microwave for a minute or so, and they're ready to go. And if I do say so myself, I make a pretty good biscuit. But whether it's what you can do at home, whether it's trying new recipes in your own kitchen, and my dad used to say anybody that can read can cook because all you gotta do is follow a recipe. Well, yes and no. Because some recipes are better than others, that's for sure. But whether you're trying a new recipe in your own kitchen or whether you're eating out, I write a couple of columns for the local newspaper. The publisher sends me a little gift card every year at Christmas time, and I have one this year for a new restaurant in town, and I haven't used it yet, but I'm planning to, because every now and then it's just nice to try something different, try something you haven't tried before, or to fall back on something maybe you have tried before, but haven't had in a while. I hadn't had biscuits and gravy in a while. I haven't been out to one of our local restaurants, Tom's Country Kitchen, for their chicken fried steak sandwich in quite some time. Need to do that again, I suppose. But food is an area where you can add some joy to your life, add some variety to your life, which is where a lot of that joy comes from. You can try new things. Being a Navy veteran, I've been all over the world, and I've tried all kinds of stuff. Now, there were some things I was not about to try. Like, for instance, my Filipino buddies, and when we'd get to the Philippines, they'd, oh, you've got to try balut. No thanks. Balut is basically an egg that's been buried in the ground until it rotted. No, I'm not eating rotten eggs. I'm sorry. It's just not my thing. But I did try a lot of other things. And I'm glad I did in most cases, because most countries in this world have some really good food that, well, you might run into it in the United States if you're in the right place, but you're not going to see it everywhere. But try something new, try something different. Go back and have something you haven't had in a while. Add some variety, add some joy, add some enjoyment. Your taste buds will thank you.